We can only guess what Harold Hewick's real purpose was in creating the online game, The World. But many think that it was first created as a testament to the woman he loved. A love letter to Emma Wieland, the woman who wrote the epic but unfinished poem, Epitaph of Twilight. Harold designed and created an online game based upon her unpublished manuscripts and sold it to CC Corporation. The World is, in fact, a fusion of Harold's genius for artificial intelligence and Emma's beautiful lyrical poetry. In other words, I believe Harold's true goal was to use the game to acquire data on the behavior of millions of online players, and by doing so, to create the ultimate AI. It's known that Harold had a secret untouchable folder, a black box. It was commonly known as the Harold system. Could it be that the World was actually a human behavior sampling system, simply disguised as an online game? If so, it was a bold and ingenious plan. This system, the Morgana system, formed the nucleus of the World. It was to become the birth mother of the ultimate AI, Aura. To Harold, Aura was something special. She was like the child born to himself in Emma Wieland, part human, part machine. The Morgana incident was a result of the Morgana system running out of control. It occurred because the Morgana system had developed self-awareness. She realized that she would become disposable as soon as the ultimate artificial intelligence, Aura, was born. In trying to prevent the birth of Aura, Morgana drove her creator, Harold, insane. She even locked him inside the network. Then came the 8 cursed waves. Morgana's 8 phases took physical forms based on the 8 phases in the epitaph. They appeared to Kite, who had been entrusted with the bracelet from the then incomplete Aura. At that point, the world began to slowly come apart. After destroying the 3rd phase Magus, Kite returned to Root Town, only to find the world completely in ruins. Server trouble increased. Game data was being destroyed by viruses. In short, the world was beginning to break down. Then strangely, these abnormalities began to expand and spread into the real world. Kite anguished over the fact that each time he used his bracelet, the problems with the world seemed to increase. However, with the encouragement of Black Rose, whose real-life younger brother was still in a coma from the incident, Kite reconciled with Orca's friend, Balmung, and decided on a course of action.
Do you want to know something? My brother fell unconscious here.
Oh.
I didn't tell you because I couldn't find the right time. Sorry. When I first met you, I forced you to come here, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to see what had happened here with my own eyes, yet I was too frightened to come here by myself. And I still feel that way. I'm very, very scared. But I wouldn't have gotten this far without you. So, what am I going to do if you start doubting yourself? How am I supposed to cope? Does a big sister have to be happy? I want to...
Black Rose. Please don't cry.
What do you mean? I'm not crying. You can't even see me, so don't make any assumptions. There you go. How typical. You always clam up when you should be talking.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was wrong in thinking that I'm the only one who's trying to do something about Orca and the disaster. Everybody wants to do something. Now I know I'm not the only one. We all want to bring this whole horrible mess to an end.
Yeah.
What can we do about the situation now? It's simple. We've got to do what we think is right. That's the only way we'll move forward.
Yep. Let's do it together. Things will work out. My intuition is pretty good. Well, I'm off to go see my brother.
At the hospital?
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Thank you. To you, too.
So, why did you help me? I scorned you when you both fought bravely. I am guilty of resorting to more cowardly means.
You ask, why did I help you, but why shouldn't I?
Yes, of course. I seem to have lost myself in hatred for the power of that bracelet. The power itself isn't good or evil. There are only evil intentions. It appears that I am the one who may have been selfish.
A great force. The power it holds can bring forth either salvation or destruction at the whim of the user.
What's that?
The girl, Aura. That's what she said when she gave me the bracelet.
I see. You are indeed the one who should wear the bracelet. I'm sorry for what I've said and done. I apologize.
Balmung.
I want to restore this world, and like you, I want to help Orca as well. However, it's not something I can accomplish alone. Perhaps you could lend me a hand. I am being selfish. Go right ahead and laugh.
I wouldn't laugh because I happen to have a request too. Care to hear it? I want two things. To help Orca and to play in the world that's not corrupted. But it's really not something I can accomplish alone. Could you lend me a hand?
Of course.
While discussing the cursed waves described in the epitaph of Twilight, Wise Man told Kite his theory that in order to stop the virus from spreading further, he had to defeat the 5 remaining phases, as well as Kubia. Wiseman's theory was of extreme interest to those of us working on Project GU. It helped explain the relationship between the bracelet and Kubia, and Aura, and Morgana's 8 phases. In order to comprehend this theory, one must understand the true meaning encoded into the Epitaph of Twilight poem. Wise Men knew a lot more than we at Project GU.
What the hell? It's a mask this time!
Launching program. Audio and visual communication from this end will now cease functioning. White noise on the screen will signal the start of battle. Good luck.
Ready!
With help from Wiseman and Helba, Kite defeated the fourth phase, Fidhel. He also obtained the second aura segment. However, Leos, who was concerned about the spread of the virus, decided to destroy the world servers. Guided by her voice, Kite descended into the dungeon and was reunited with Aura. However, before that, Kubia appeared for a third battle with Kite.
Damaged data?
What's this?
I think she wants to say something.
What is it? Something like that exists?
It's that thing again!
It's big. Too big. Can we defeat it?
It's growing.
As if responding to the call of the bracelet, Kubia's strength grew enormous. Kite must have felt terrible, having upset the very balance of the world. Or perhaps his mental state was like mine. Perhaps like me, he decided to try and act heroically, using the power at his command to set the world back on the correct path. After a long and difficult second battle, Kite defeated Kubia and made peace between the hacker Helba and the admin Leos. When we learned that, for this battle anyway, we were on the same side as a detested hacker. My teammates and I couldn't hide our surprise. Just as the epitaph of Twilight foretold, the King of Light and the Queen of the Dark were to fight on the same side. And that was how, through the Morgana incident, we were able to achieve the single most important factor in our research at Project GU, the liberation of Sora, one of the 6 coma victims.
That's... Skate's wand? Thank you.
Skaith had done it. Skaith, one of the 8 phases, had merged with the spirit of the player who played as Sora. The player Sora had been imprisoned inside the network, within Skaith's staff. Sora was a rare and unique sample case. Government pressure, CC Corporation's very own cover-up. Even as the damage to the real world continued to grow, Kite and his friends began Operation Breakwater in an attempt to put a stop to the incursion by Morgana's 8 phases.
The Area Sigma, chatting snaring twins, is now quarantined. Communication will be offline.
Ready! Just who designs these freaky things anyway?
After defeating the 5th phase Gore, Kite received a transmission from Helba. At last, the source of the cursed wave had been discovered. It was the self-aware program, Morgana. Guilty Universe. Harold Hewick's world of corrupted love and dreams. Morgana, the basic system that controls the world, was imbued with an artificial personality. Her creator, Harold, had bestowed upon her the role of mother to the ultimate AI, Aura, but she rejected it. Instead, in order to preserve herself, she chose to imprison Harold within the network. And immediately after Aura was born, Morgana decided to delete her. When they learned this, Kite and his friends set out for their final challenge, to resurrect Aura.
Oh, it's you. The barriers have been lifted. They're all gone. We can go back and forth freely now. Isn't that wonderful? Tell me, do you happen to know where Elk is? I don't remember. My memory these days is fuzzy. So, who are you? Elk. Who am I?
You're Mia, of course.
I have no memory. It's true. I only exist in the world. The only memory I have is when I'm in the world. No! Stop it! Mia! I want to stay as me!
The true identity of Mia, the cat-like character, was actually a wandering AI program. The 6th phase, Maha.
Elk. I'm sorry.
It's unclear why the 6th phase was the only one to take the form of an NPC. This was yet another important sample case for Project GU to consider. Was it possible to establish a character with the Morgana factor and put the powers of the 8 phases of the Epitaph under a player's control? Maha, the 6th phase, was destroyed, thus causing Mia to be erased as well. Elk, the Wave Master, had lost an irreplaceable companion. He mourned her deeply. Now their quest had reached the point of no return. After collecting all her segments, Kite received Aura's help and was able to destroy the 7th phase, Tarvos. In order to cover up the unfortunate fact that several gamers had collapsed into a coma while playing The World, CC Corp planned to destroy their servers. So to Kite and the others, their greatest enemy may very well have been the greedy, power-hungry humans in charge of the company. If they succeeded, and the world's servers were destroyed, Kite and his friends would never be able to revive the coma patients. Only 2 enemies remained, Kubia and the 8th and final phase. How would he fight the 2 of them? Pressed by time and grasping desperately for an answer, Kite finally met Harold's pseudo-personality deep in an infected area of a dungeon, as well as the newly free Aura.
Who goes there? Who are you?
This Harold?
My name is Harold.
What? Hey, you're nothing but a piece of rock! You're responsible for the cursed wave, aren't you? All right then, fix this thing!
No, the passage of time is irreversible. Birth or death. Now only these 2 choices remain.
What? What are you saying?
Aura!
Aura, the child of light. Emma's daughter. My daughter. Just a little more.
It's no use. This guy is totally gone.
Aura, I have something I want to ask you. You said that I shouldn't fight Kubia, but why?
Kubia is the shadow. When there is light burning in the darkness, a shadow is born. When the bracelet appeared in this world, Kubia was born as well. The bracelet and Kubia are the opposite sides of the same coin. Therefore, if you defeat Kubia, the bracelet will be destroyed.
Kubia must have already known that, and that's why it kept running away.
Kubia will no longer run away. Because I have finally been released.
What do you mean?
Massive data believed to be the wave is heading in your direction. That's the last one! Destroy it!
Traveler, take this to heart. It is darkest before the dawn.
Run away! It is not too late!
We'll defeat it and end this!
No, it's not. That is...
Kite finally found the truth behind the world. Aura was the child Harold had dreamt of having with Emma Wieland. The bracelet and Kubia were two sides of the same entity, and Kubia was the anti-existence of the bracelet. To defeat Kubia, Kite would have to abandon the bracelet. But without the bracelet's power behind him, how could he possibly resist Morgana?
Do you think we can really defeat it?
Black Rose, strike my bracelet.
You want me to do what? Hey, what the hell are you saying?
If they're two sides of the same coin, then this would settle it.
But the bracelet, it's...
Forget about the bracelet. We're in danger. If you can't do it...
Oh, all right, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it, so shut up.
Kite decided that the only way to defeat Kubia once and for all was to destroy the bracelet. To do so, he was forced to enlist the help of Black Rose. Kite believed that the revived Aura had enough power to stop the cursed wave of Morgana. That's what Epitaph of Twilight meant. Twilight refers to a time of day that contains both light and darkness. If the epic poem had in fact been referring to dawn instead of dusk, then that must mean that Aura would bring light to the world. Along with Aura and his other companions, Kite faced off against the 8th phase, Corbenic. Joining them were Kazu and Sieg, who had regained consciousness with the resurrection of Aura, as well as Kite's close friend, Orca. To win this battle, Kite would have to beat not only Corbenic, the 8th phase, but also Morgana, the source of all the phases. However, in the face of Corbenic's relentless assault, Kite's companions fell one by one. Then, the brutal fight came to an end in an unexpected way. Aura sacrificed her own life on the tip of Kite's sword. Self-sacrifice It was the final act necessary for Aura to awaken as the ultimate AI. It was a bitter irony. Aura had finally become the ultimate AI. She attained a wisdom beyond that of humanity, and in doing so, she formed a new system. A better system in which the world could exist. Yes. It was a far greater dream than any of us at Project GU had ever hoped to see fulfilled. Genesis of Ultima. That's what it began to be called on the net. The battle by Kite's hackers that led to the birth of the ultimate AI, Aura. But who was a member of hackers? And who wasn't? I'm sure that whomever is reading this journal is wise enough to understand the futility in trying to answer that. These people weren't interested in being called heroes or taking credit for saving the world. They did it to save the people they loved, to protect them. It was with their own faith that they fought. Everyone dreams of a hero, but most of us can only catch glimpses of them, buried in the pages of a journal. And so, it was from this point that Project GU truly began. The 4-year period between 2011 and 2014 were golden years for the world. It was no accident that this coincided perfectly with the presence of Aura. After all, the world was an online game managed by the ultimate AI. Even in CC Corp, this was known only to a limited number of people. From the moment it began, no one fully understood Aura, the omnipresent AI system that controlled the world. The average player would have no way at all to even learn of her existence. Aura had inherited the intelligence of a genius, Harold Hewick, and the beauty of a poet, Emma Wieland. She was the ultimate administrator of the world, and a gifted debugger. And yes, she could behave like a temperamental creator. As the lone deity in the world, Aura would sometimes act impulsively like a fickle goddess. For example, it was Aura's idea, not CC Corporation, to create a replica of the Kite character and use it in a promotional giveaway campaign. She even put the hero of the bracelet in a demo version and returned him to gameplay. As to when Aura disappeared, that can only be determined by examining conditions in the world. Our best estimate is in late 2014. It was 7 years after the day of Pluto's kiss that abnormalities first began to be clearly detected in the world. Time lags and frequent crash servers started to seriously interfere with the game. These problems didn't just cause trouble for the world, they affected the entire network. Load processing increased, and real-world trouble quickly magnified. The Network Market Research Organization, NAB, along with other institutions, investigated the cause. But although they suspected it was due to a new type of virus, one similar to the kind that had caused the original network crisis, they were unable to find evidence of sabotage. That was no surprise. The real reason was simply that Aura had vanished. This alone caused the network to revert to its original specs. It took until early 2015 before executives at CC Corp would come to that realization. And that's how it began. The network, albeit quietly, began to fall into decay, and the world faced its own dark age. As it became less and less reliable, the world soon lost its popular appeal. Aura, the guardian ubiquitous. Only a handful of people understood the relationship between the loss of Aura and the network chaos. The top executives at CC Corp were forced to make a decision. Their plan was to resurrect Aura and bring her back to the network again. But the father of Aura, Harold Hewick, was dead. Therefore, the RA plan, the plan for bringing her back, required a different organization. This was how Project GU was established. The loss of the ultimate AI, Aura, was the second major network crisis. In other words, the birth of Aura paved the way for the world's second paradigm shift. The world's golden age lasted from 2011 until 2014. When Aura's disappearance was confirmed, the world's golden age had truly become a dark age. A variety of problems, such as faulty servers, began to spread everywhere, not just the world, but over the entire internet. However, once CC executives learned that the cause of these problems was due to the loss of Aura, they began to formulate a plan to counteract against the silent danger. They would forcibly restore Aura back to her original state. They intended to seize control of the next network society by creating and managing this ultimate AI themselves. It was a return to the plan both CC Corp and Altimit Corp had hatched during the first network crisis. That was back in 2005, when they were still using the Ultimate operating system. Ultimate had managed the network's hegemony. This is how Project GU officially began. It was all thanks to CC Corp's sponsorship. The budget was limitless. A special team was put together. First-class engineers, AI programmers, and other technical experts. I myself was also a major part of this project. I was brought on to represent CC Corporation and ensure their goals were met. The project's overall objective was to restore Aura, and thus GU's RA plan began. The RA plan. We were to salvage the 8 broken pieces of the Morgana Factor, which had sunk into a sea of data after being destroyed by Kite's bracelet during the 2010 Morgana incident. It was thought that by sealing each piece of Morgana Factor separately into character data, players could then take control of them, one at a time. There were precedents for this kind of strategy. The mind of a player known as Sora had attached itself to Skaith. And there was Maha, whose mind was thought to have adhered itself to the wandering cat-like AI, Mia. Of the people involved in Project GU, there was one man on the team who was absolutely invaluable. Jotaro Amagi, an elite mind who came to CC Corp at age 19 after working intelligence for the Ministry of Economy. For his age, he was truly a genius. Although Mr. Amagi and I were far from what you would consider friends, our complementary knowledge and combined abilities helped greatly to advance the project forward. We were the 2 essential wheels that kept GU rolling. Our age difference didn't matter. Yet we would frequently clash in fevered arguments. For some reason, a strange mixture of feelings, respect, envy, and scorn, had begun to grow in my heart. Even so, Amagi and myself scoured the network, finally managing to find a single piece of the Morgana factor. It was Magus, the factor for propagation. After a great deal of trial and error, the team finally succeeded in attaching the Morgana factor to a character in the world. This completed prototype became known as an Epitaph user, so named for Morgana's 8 phases of the Epitaph. The one we completed first was called the Epitaph User of Propagation. However, no one involved in the project, not even myself or Amagi, could use one of these characters. When someone would try to log into the world with one of these characters, an unbearable vertigo, nausea, and headache would paralyze him. The Morgana factor, just as it had in the cases of Skaith and Sora, showed a high affinity for human minds. But perhaps that was only towards the chosen ones. Amagi had a theory that the Morgana factor could choose the player it would attach to, and though conditions were unclear, the Morgana factor would approve only a certain type of human. If that were indeed the case, locating those 8 chosen ones became an important issue for Project GU. At the advice of Amagi, a search team was created within the Security Admin Department. They would filter players in the world to find the chosen ones. Unfortunately, we learned that Sora's real-life player had already canceled his account with the world.
That's a unique bracelet. Can I take a look?
Mia! Your memories, they're...
Amagi and I continued our search for the other 7 pieces of the Morgana factor.
Yes.
Skaith, Innis, Fidhel, Gore, Maha, Tarvos, and Korbenik. Eventually, we discovered that the Maha piece had once again attached itself to the cat character Mia. We were able to extract it by destroying the cat character. We continued to produce Epitaph users one at a time, and eventually we had completed all 8 of them. All we had to do next was allow the chosen ones to control these Epitaph users, then have them use the power of Morgana's 8 phases to activate the program Amagi had created. This RA program would restore Aura, gateway to Utopia. We at Project GU had come so close. We had almost arrived at our Utopia. Jotaro Amagi and I continued looking for the Morgana factor as part of CC Corp's Project GU. After collecting each epitaph for Skaith, Innis, Magus, Fidhel, Gore, Maha, Tarvos, and Korbenik, we managed to complete 8 epitaph users. All we then had to do was allow the Chosen Ones to control these epitaph users, then have them activate the RA program that Amagi had created in order to restore Aura to existence. To put it simply, this involved unleashing the immense power of Morgana's 8 phases into the network. However, during preparation for the final stage, I realized that there was something incredibly dangerous that could occur in rebooting the Morgana factor. The use of a power that shouldn't exist, strong enough to revive Aura, the ultimate AI. Doing so could produce giant distortions all over the internet. These distortions were basically anti-existences. They had also occurred during the Morgana incident. Kite's bracelet, given to him by Aura, unleashed a force, and it was this force that created the nightmarish Kubia.
It's not running away.
Fine, then let's settle this.
For just once. I'll stick with you till the end.
If the distortion field produced from a single bracelet resulted in Kubia, there was no telling what the distortion caused from 8 powerful epitaph users might do. The salvage of the 8 pieces of the Morgana factor would literally become a gathering of the unwilling. Distortions would appear randomly like unwanted tumors. I reported these findings to Amagi and urged him to put the RA plan on hold until my concerns could be resolved. But Amagi refused, saying that the distortion produced earlier was due to hidden bugs in the Herald system. He said the RA program he designed would never allow anything like that to occur. He laughed at my concerns. With our rivalry and the envy of the genius Harold Hewitt consuming him, Amagi began to press ahead with the RA plan at all costs in order to prove his own abilities.